I grew up playing baseball. I played Little League, or T-ball, I should say. Me and my brother. My brother and I, he eventually didn't want to be on my team anymore. He didn't want to be known as the brother with the girl who was better than him. And so now here we are. He is now the batter, and I am the pitcher. And it felt like the world was watching. And we get to a 3-2 count, and I have a choice. I could walk him, or I could go for it. So I strike my brother out, my poor brother. I strike him out. But here's the thing. The next year, I was told I should quit playing baseball because I'm a girl. And my brother was never told he shouldn't play because he was struck out or not good enough. I was told I should quit. And when I was first told this, I decided I would play baseball forever. But it was the uphill battle. From there, I decided at 15, 16 that I was going to become a baseball coach. And I told my coach, and I was a really shy teenager, and he was the first guy I shared my dream with. And I told him, and he laughed at me. He said, "No man will listen to a woman on a baseball field." And immediately I became very embarrassed, but then I started to think, well, who's he to limit me? And I started thinking, okay, how can I make my dream happen? And I was young, but I was determined, and I started deciding to learn every position I could learn. I decided I would get a PhD one day. I had no idea how because I had a list of learning disabilities, but I would do it. And then I proved him wrong when I became the only woman coaching college baseball in the country, where, of course, the men don't care. They're surprised. But if you can show players how to become better, how to help them win, that you care about them as people, then they're on your team as well. You come from the woman to, that's Coach Justine. From there, I went ahead and I became the first woman to break the barrier of coaching men's baseball. It was independent ball in 2009, and it was amazing. I had my own baseball card, but also a bunch of people didn't like me. Mostly coaches. And I had one coach tell me how useless I was and how much he hated me and how I shouldn't be on his field. I was also kicked out of the locker room, taken off throwing BP. Essentially, they were trying to get me to quit. Well, there was one point where I was kind of like, I was never going to quit. That never occurred to me. But I was starting to get a little teary-eyed. So you know that phrase, there's no crying in baseball? Well, there is. But I went in my car and I drove down the street. And there I had a quick cry, and I started thinking, what am I going to do? Not what was I going to quit, but what am I going to do? And I started thinking of Jackie Robinson, who obviously you all hopefully have heard of, who broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. And what he went through was incredible, and I certainly wasn't Jackie Robinson. But I did learn that he wasn't allowed to react. All he could do was perform. He had to take it all in and perform. And I learned that I can't control how other people are going to treat me. I can't even control if they're going to fire me the next day. But what I can control is how I'm going to respond. And I decided then that I would respond with kindness. Not because I wanted them to like me, I didn't need them to like me, but because when you get really angry, and it's all you can think about, and it consumes your whole body and your mind, and all you think about is your anger and how you're being done wrong. I didn't have time for that. I had a plan. My plan was to keep coaching. And so I decided, instead of the chaos of anger, to keep my peace. And in that, to be kind. My daughter was, I want to say 13 at the time. And so we're literally making brownies. And she's stirring. She's going, Mom, why don't you just quit? Because they want you to. And we made these brownies. We put them in the locker room I wasn't allowed to go into. And I was able to go ahead on my on my journey with being the person I wanted to be, knowing that I was going to be paving the way for the girls behind me. From there, remember, I would have loved to have, let me just say this. I would have loved to have told that one coach who told me how useless I was and how much he hated me with a whole bunch of swear words, what I really thought. But that's not power. Power is being able to stay on your own track so that you can go where you want to go. And so I wanted to keep coaching, and from there, I became the first woman to throw Major League batting practice, and then scout school. And I learned, it was actually Billy Beane from Moneyball, or the A's, whichever you follow more, who allowed me to throw BP. I ended up throwing to 6 teams, and it made international news. And I learned at scout school that that they take international coaches, that like the A's actually allow international coaches to come in. And I was thinking, if they take international coaches, they'll take a woman. Sure, no woman has ever done it before, but why not me? Why not? So I asked Billy Beane, hey, can I come coach for you? No. Hey, Billy Beane, I got a PhD, can I come coach for you? No. 3rd year, hey, Billy, I'm a scout, can I come coach? No. So the 4th year, I said, hey, look, Billy, even the NFL has their first female coach right over there. Can I come coach for you? And in the 4th year, I got a yes. And from there, it was only actually a 2-week gig in Instructs, but it took me an entire lifetime to get there. And that jersey is now in Cooperstown at the National Baseball Hall of Fame. From there, I continue to take any job I can. And I also founded Baseball for All, which is now a national organization that is building gender equity in baseball by giving girls access to play, coach, and lead. It has completely changed the landscape of baseball. Now Major League Baseball has girls baseball programming. It didn't have before. The amount of years that it took to have that happen with MLB. But I guess this is what I'd like you to know. There's like nothing special about me. I'm in museums, I've been on Queen Latifah, Oprah magazine, whatever it is. There's nothing special about me. All I have is what you already have. What we have is the magic inside us. That grit, that desire to not give up, the ability to keep going through fire or around walls or through walls, underneath walls, over the walls, all of that, it's already in you. And so that's why I know that if my dreams can come true, then so can yours. Thank you.